We met through a friend that I worked with. Basically, the first time we met each other was in EB Games. I walked in, saw my friend that I work with there, and saw this really tall guy with long blonde hair.
Yeah, it was at EB Games. It was a random coincidence. It didn't really mean anything at the time. I was not even vaguely aware of her existence because my housemate at the time had just been talking about this girl that he was working with that he'd been talking to.
Yeah, picking up his Final Fantasy gear because he's such a geek. Oh, I just thought of him as... Actually, I didn't really take that much notice of him besides his blonde hair and he was really tall.
And then, yeah, we sort of bumped into this Asian, tiny little Asian chick at EB Games, had pink and black hair, and thought her hair was pretty interesting, and then I didn't sort of pay any more attention to it than that. For me, when I asked her out was sort of, at the time it was just after she had coloured my hair purple for the first time, and I was getting all these compliments, and I collected like 3 or 4 phone numbers in the space of a week, which never happened for me before, and I was just sort of collecting them at the time and sort of flaunting them in front of her to see if she'd be a little bit jealous. I wasn't sure if she sort of had any feelings for me, so, and yeah, it just sort of culminated in me being the big wuss that I am. I did it through text message, and I more or less just asked her if she wanted to go out with me, and she didn't reply for about 45 minutes because she'd just gone to the gym, so that was like one of the worst 45 minutes of my life. But yeah, then she got home and she replied yes, so that was kind of how I asked her out. And then the proposal.
The way he proposed, he asked, well, basically we went to dinner. He said, yeah, we'll just go out to dinner to our favourite place. I'm like, okay, didn't think anything of it.
My lord, I've never been so nervous at a dinner in my entire life. I organised with the people at our favourite restaurant, Midori. It's a teppanyaki restaurant. Before we went there, and just sort of sprung it on her and said, hey, let's go to dinner.
I didn't suspect anything. Got there, had our dinner at Midori teppanyaki place in Northbridge.
Just on our own. We'd never been there on our own before. We usually went with a bunch of other people. It's quite expensive, so you usually make it a group outing. So we went there, the 2 of us, we had our dinner, and you eat quite a lot of food there. That was really hard to do. Pretty sure my stomach was already full of butterflies, but yeah, we got to the end of the meal, and they write their little goodbye message in salt.
And at the end of the dinner, the guy, he writes the, see you later, goodbye, thanks for coming, in salt upside down. And he had organised for the guy to write, will you marry me, upside down in salt.
The chef wrote, will you marry me, upside down in the salt, facing towards her.
I was like, who is this directed to? Turned around, he was on his knee, and I was like, oh, what's happening now?
And then while she was trying to figure out what it was saying, I got down on one knee and pulled the ring out. To much fanfare and adulation from the surrounding patrons. But yeah, and then luckily she said yes, so that was good.
He was a real gentleman. He would open doors and pull out seats for me. And yeah, I think our strong point for each other is that we like to play games together. That was the main thing. What, in Guild Wars or any of those MMOs, he would run off without me, and then I'd get really annoyed. They'd be like, "Why are you running away?" Or I'm trying to catch up to him in levels, and he just out-leveled me, keep leveling me.
It's just skill.
He's so excited. He likes to yell really loudly.
Ah, it's not true. Well, a little bit.
Yeah, it is.
Not so much as you're making out, but a little bit.
Oh yeah, you do. He's really lazy.
She has absolutely no patience.
Yeah.
None.
I still have to nag him to do everything.
Yep. I love the way that you complete my personality. I feel that you make up for everything that I lack. I love your big pretty brown eyes, even though you have a habit of hiding them and turning away every time I tell you that.
I love that every time I think of you, you always make me smile.
And I love the way that you always make me smile and feel happy whenever I see you.
No matter what time of day it is, or if I'm at work or I'm feeling really crap, I just have to think of you and I smile. I like that we have so many things in common, yet we're such opposites. And yes, in that way it completes us. He could. And I love that you always compliment me and make me feel good about myself, even though when I'm feeling really down. The 2
5
children.
years, yeah. 2 children, 2-story house, smart wired out the butt. Travelled the world, been to Japan, been across America, brand new cars,
Brand new computers.
Inevitably some sort of new game. Yeah, pretty much. We got it sorted.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I write cheesy poems all the time. And
He sings to me a lot. Yeah, I like when he does that.
Yeah. My love for my Karmen, it ain't hard to explain, because if I didn't love her, she'd kick out my brain.
I'm really excited that we'll be spending the rest of our lives together, and every time I think about the future, it just makes me smile.
Yeah.
I'm really happy.
Yeah, me too. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I thought I'd sort of dread it the closer we got, and I don't. I'm
looking
just
forward
excited
to wearing the dress.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that's after the wedding when you finish wearing it, but I'm looking forward to wearing the dress too.
I don't think it'll fit you.
Oh, we can try. We'll see what happens.